Welcome to Behind the Doors, the podcast where we take you behind the scenes of residential real estate investing. I'm your host, Dan Noma Jr., here with my co-host, Marvin Cruz.
We're here to help you unlock the best strategies and practice for investors. Whether you're just starting out or you're a seasoned pro looking to scale your portfolio.
We've spent decades navigating the ever-changing world of real estate, and now we're sharing everything we've learned to help you succeed.
From off-market deals to cash flow management and everything in between, we'll break it down and bring you actionable insights that can make a real difference in your investments.
So get ready to open the door to new opportunities and take your real estate investing to the next level. Let's dive in.
Hey, we're back. You know, we talked a lot about real estate agents and how PropTech could help the real estate agents, right? And sometimes agents can technically see PropTech as a threat. Let's talk about that. So what do you say to real estate agents as it relates to PropTech, as it can help you or hinder you?
Well, I think it can definitely help you. I think hinder depends on the type of business model, but I always say that you don't need more information. You need implementation. And so any model out there that's going to help you implement a real on the ground strategy more effectively, more efficiently, more of it, I think there's value in that.
Yeah. So don't shy away from it. Understand, educate yourself on some of these, because some of these PropTechs can definitely help you.
When you zoom out of real estate and just go in sales in corporate America, I think it's an option for the guy at ServiceNow to use a database and track his leads and his pipeline and his man. Like, it's not an option there. And obviously it's an employee, but it's just funny how when you flip it into real estate, for some reason, we don't think all the fundamentals of running a successful sales business apply to us sometimes. Right. Yeah. And I think PropTech can aid you in guiding you down the right path because tech does make it easier.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a fact.
Yeah. The thing I've said to agents a bunch on this is, like, what you don't want is you don't want to sit with a seller or buyer, them to ask you a question about what a PropTech company, and then you go, either one of two answers is what I hear. Either one is like, you tell them you don't want to do that, right? Because you don't know enough, and you go, you don't want to do that. They're going to give you a low ball offer. That's for the birds. That's crazy. You don't want to do that, right? Like, my mom used to tell me not to go play in my neighbor's backyard, right?
When what'd you go do?
Well, as soon as she would take my sisters to volleyball practice, I would jump immediately in the backyard, right? So I think that's one phase of this. But the other one is like, you've got to know enough about it to help your consumer eliminate doubt, right? If you truly believe that your option's the best option, then put it on paper. Like, and be transparent about it, because that's where the magic happens, right? So we were selling thousands of homes as a team, right? That's what I had the team doing, is I said, look, I don't really care if you sell to any one of these companies or you sell this product. What I want you to do is I want you to eliminate consumer doubt and build credibility at the kitchen table. And if you can do those two things, you're going to get and convert almost 100% of all of your listing appointments. If you can do those two things at the kitchen table. So for me, it just became a conversation starter, right? It was just like, everybody wants to talk about it anyways. Let's bring it to the room. Let's put all the options on the table for you. And that way they know, right? Because if they can leave that kitchen table and going, well, I got a couple more things I want to check out, you're not going to get the listing. That's never going to happen, right? But if they're like, man, I feel like I got everything I needed to know. This is fantastic. Where do I sign? Like that's what you're looking for, right?
You can't give what you don't have.
Right.
And I think as an advisor, that is your job, is to be the source of information about the industry. And whoever advises, consults the best, they will win. Right. And so I think it's a big part of the business right now. You got to know the options.
Right. Yeah, but as an agent, how do I keep up with all this? What do you guys? You guys have some favorite?
Hang out with Dan for a little bit, and go work with Dan, and you'll be an expert. I don't know. I mean, I kind of have my rhythm on reading, and I have certain publications I follow, and I mean, it takes time, but it does interest me. And I mean, that's pretty much how I consume, and having conversations in the industry with people. Yeah.
I think you got to be purposeful in your attempt to be an expert, right? I mean, doctors are constantly reading and going to events to educate themselves on new technologies or new ways of doing things and all of that. And there's papers being passed out to them constantly. And they spend a certain amount of their time reading that stuff because it's relevant. It matters, right? It matters in our industry too. And you've got to figure out a way to your way of ingesting the data and information, you know, and it's got to be comfortable for you. So I don't know. I'm the same way. Like I'm a reader. I listen to podcasts, and then, you know, my network, I surround myself with people in the space because I know I'm going to get asked the question, right? So I'm like, well, I want to make sure I know. And I hate that answer of like, well, I don't know, or I come up with some BS because I'm afraid to know, right? And like that doesn't sound right.
Well, I think also like you got to understand the buyers, the investors, they're doing this. And so you don't want them to be ahead of you when you go to that kitchen table with them. So
it's not a good, definitely not a good look.
That's not a good look for you, right?
I think you just got to be not a generalist doesn't sound good because it doesn't sound like you're a specialist, but at some level you can only be a specialist in so many areas, but you got to have the general macro info and be able to articulate what a company does or doesn't do. I mean, I think that's, you know, 101. And I think ego sometimes gets in the way of that. Yeah. You know, we're not willing to be a student because we might think that we have something figured out. And being a student and going to classes, getting on webinars, like listening to podcasts, I think that's how you do it.
Right.
I agree.
Yeah. And then honestly, like if you see something out there, like don't go to the negative of it, right? Like we had a brand here for a while. I mean, you guys remember the 72 Sold brand?
Yep.
Right. So 72 Sold, like say what you will, was brilliant from a marketing perspective. It was absolutely brilliant from a marketing perspective. If you ask an agent about 72 Sold, I guarantee you that one of the top 2 answers that they're going to give you is that, oh, did you see their cancellation rate? Did you see how many properties that they listed and canceled after the 3 days?
Right.
But that's not the point, right? The point was, did you see how many they closed? Like, did you see how many that they actually did do? It's a lot, right? And so, yeah, they had a pretty high cancellation rate, but I mean, gosh, when it worked, and it was really strong. And so from a marketing perspective, like take a page out of some of these guys'
That's the ego part. That's what I'm talking about. Is you got to have that curiosity and go, okay, well, Dan, 72 Sold, they're doing something right. Instead of me throwing rocks at someone who's beating me, let me either befriend the person, let me learn about their model, let me figure it out, and rip off and duplicate some stuff.
What can I create from this? You know, like how 100%. Can I see what they're doing and go, man, I could offer something like that, you know? There was a model, Curbio. Remember when Curbio?
I do remember that.
They were doing, like, they would do renovations on your home so that you could get top dollar. So let's say you didn't have the money to paint, carpet, whatever your property, and the agent said that you needed to do that to get top dollar. They would come in, they would do all that work for you. And they were essentially kind of beat out of the market by real estate agents that were doing it themselves. Because agents started looking at the model, right? And they were like, I could do that too,
if you're going to do that, I'll do it.
You know, I'm going to earn a $25,000 commission on this house. I could go and loan these people $10,000, fix this property up, and I know that I'm going to sell it for more money, and I'm going to charge them an interest on the $10,000. Like I'll do that deal all day long. And so, you know, you just got to make sure that you're looking at things with the eyes wide open.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Behind the Doors. We hope you found today's insights valuable for your real estate investing journey.
Remember, real estate success doesn't happen overnight, but with the right tools and strategies, you can build long-term wealth and create passive income.
If you enjoyed the show, be sure to subscribe, leave us a review, and share it with others who are passionate about real estate investing.
Don't forget to follow us on social media for more tips and exclusive content.
Until next time, keep unlocking new opportunities, and we'll see you on the next episode of Behind the Doors.